Good morning, dear students. In last lecture, just we discussed about the Gauss law. Okay, and what is Gauss law? The total electric flux associated with any closed surface is equal to the ratio of total electric charge enclosed by the surface to epsilon zero. And today we are going to learn how Gauss law is important to derive the expression for the electric field due to uniformly infinitely charged wire, infinitely charged shaped electric field inside and outside a charged spherical shell, and electric field inside and outside a uniformly charged sphere or a charged cloud. So first of all, we are going to take electric field due to uniformly charged wire. Okay, so we are having a infinitely long uniformly charged wire. This is infinitely long uniformly charged wire from minus infinity to plus infinity. For example, these all are the positive charges. For sake of convenience, we are taking positive charges. We can also take negative charge. There is no such an issue. What is the direction of the electric field due to these positive charges? Direction of the electric field is radially outward. क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड पॉजिटिव चार्ज है तो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज रेडियली आउटवर्ड. नो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड टुवर्ड्स द राइट साइड or towards the left side. Why? Because toward the right and left we are having a linear distribution of charges. But according to Gauss law, we required a imaginary closed surface. So that surface is known as the Gaussian surface. So we are having a linear distribution, and around a linear distribution of charge, we are having a cylindrical Gauss surface. We are taking a cylindrical Gauss surface. We are taking a cylindrical Gauss surface of length L, of radius R. Okay, what is the length of this Gaussian surface? Length is L and radius is R, and direction of the electric field is radially outward, and there is no electric field along a right side as well as along the left side, because this is the linear distribution of charge. So what is the shape of this cylindrical? It is the cylindrical Gaussian surface of radius R and length L. Then how much charge is enclosed by the surface? Then charge is equal to lambda into L. So what is lambda here? Lambda is equal to linear charge density. Lambda is the linear charge density. Therefore, so charge enclosed by Gaussian surface, charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, therefore Q is equal to lambda multiplied by L. Okay, now according to Gauss theorem, we have to take the total flux enclosed by the Gauss surface. So how much is the total electric flux? Linked to Gaussian surface, total flux phi is equal to electric flux phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Flux associated with the first surface is phi 1, from the curved surface is phi 2, and from the another cross section area, that is phi 3. But as shown in the figure, but flux phi 1 and phi 3, they both is equal to 0. Why the flux phi 1 and phi 3 is 0? Because electric field is perpendicular to the surface area. This is the direction of the electric field, and this is the direction of the area vector. So for this cross sectional area and for this direction also, area vector and electric field are perpendicular to each other. So in this case, electric field is perpendicular to area vector, and therefore the flux is 0. Now we are having phi 2. Phi 2 is equal to electric field multiplied by the area. And what about the theta in this case? So we are taking the small area of the curved surface. So here the value of the theta is equal to 0 degree, and cos theta is equal to 1. So therefore this phi 2 becomes electric field multiplied by area. Area of the curved surface 2 pi r L. Okay, how much area we have to take? Area of this curved surface of the cylinder, at all the points on the cylinder the electric field will remains the same. So phi 2 is equal to E multiplied by A E into 2 pi RL. And from Gauss theorem, from Gauss law, the total flux is equal to Q divided by epsilon 0. And how much is the total flux? Electric field multiplied by 2 pi RL is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. And what is the value of Q? Already we had obtained, that is lambda into L. So we can write lambda into L. L cancel from both the sides. So electric field becomes 1 upon 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda divided by R. And if you want to give in the vector notation, so E vector is equal to 1 upon 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda upon R with the direction of R caret. Here the electric field is radially outward perpendicular to the surface. And for calculation purpose, we can obtain electric field in terms of K. So 2K lambda by R with the direction of R caret. So this is the formula for electric field due to infinitely linear distribution of charges. So once again we are having a linear distribution of charges which is to be taken along x-axis. Direction of the electric field is along the radial direction perpendicular to the surface. Here we are having charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Q is equal to lambda into L, where lambda is the linear charge density. Total flux associated with this closed Gaussian surface, phi is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. But electric flux associated with the cross-sectional areas phi 1 and phi 3 is 0 because electric field is perpendicular to the radius vector. Electric field is perpendicular to the radius and their dot product is 0. And for the second surface, phi 2, EA cos 0, because area vector and electric field are parallel to each other, cos theta is 1. So therefore the flux phi 2 is equal to EA. And what is A? Area of the closed surface and curved surface ka area 2 pi RL. So flux phi is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. From Gauss law, E multiplied by 2 pi RL lambda L upon epsilon 0. L cancel from both the sides. So in vector we get E 1 upon 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by R with the direction of R caret. And for numerical point of view, 2k lambda R in the direction of R caret.